Yeah.
I think we have like about 37 people. Just wait for a few more minutes for them to join.
I guess we can wait till some of them will join in.
So people are already here. You can say hi in the chat. So the chat seems so. The 48 people who are live, do you guys hear us? If you can hear me, then say something in the chat. Anything. Anything. Hi, Hari. Hi, Santosh. Hi, Shane. Hi. Alright, yeah. So everyone who have just joined, we are waiting for a few more minutes so that your friends can join. So if you know some of your friends who have yet not joined and or maybe taking a sleep, wake them up and ask them to join in so we can start the session.
Yeah. Shall I start?
Alright, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna start. So good evening and a warm welcome to everyone present here. I'm Vijayashree from first year CSE department. I thank the institution, my staffs and the organizer of this event for giving me this opportunity. I welcome everyone for this webinar, Crack Hackathons. We all have questions like what is hackathon and how to prepare hackathon and how to crack it. Here is a great moment that you can hear it from the winners of Smart India Hackathon 2020. I welcome Ganesh Ramkumar, Amit, Divya Reddy and Vignesh S for all an inspiration and pride of CIT. Now, do you want to know more about these people? Yes, Ganesh Ramkumar is a final year student of CSA department. He is a full stack web developer, team lead winner of Smart India Hackathon 2019 and finalist of Singapore India Hackathon 2019. And next is Vignesh Srinivasan is a third year student of CSE department. He is a winner of Smart India Hackathon 2020, cross-platform developer and a back-end developer. I trust that this webinar will be a valuable and a satisfying session for everyone. Thank you to everyone here for coming this evening to attend the webinar. Now, I hand over this event to Shreya. Thank you.
Thank you, Viji. Thank you so much. And I would like to introduce Ms. Divya Reddy Shuram of CSC third year. She was in charge of presentation for the hackathon and won first place in SIH 2020. And not the least, I would like to introduce Mr. Amit of CSC third year, who is specialized in Android, web, and front-end development. Collaborated with Accenture for interdisciplinary interface for software application and got awarded as an industrial innovator by Accenture in SCP 2019 and one of the first prize winners in Smart India Hackathon in August 2020. And now I would like to request Ms. Divya Reddy to speak about what is hackathon. Thank you.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Divya. So let's begin this webinar with the basic question. What is hackathon? So hackathon is like an event or like a competition where a lot of people come together and compete with teams. So usually a hackathon might last from somewhere between 1 to 3 days, and it might vary. And also, these hackathons are usually conducted by educational organizations, tech companies, etc. Also, this is a place where you can actually show your skills, and like you can also know how you can work within a given time. So there are a few steps that one goes through as part of a hackathon. So the first would be forming a team based on the given rules. The second would be selecting a problem statement to which you want to provide a solution for. And third, generally in a hackathon, there will be two main evaluation rounds. So one would be the presentation round where you would send in a presentation of the problem statement you've selected and mention how you would go about working on the solution for it. So the second round would be the actual hackathon where you and your team would have to actually work on your solution and satisfy all the conditions provided in the problem statement. So then you get to present your solution and talk about how efficient it is and etc. So this is the basic process of what happens in a hackathon. So to take it further, over to Amrit now.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, now let me walk you through the selection phase. Selection phase is really an important phase because if you got selected in any hackathon, it's almost like half success. Of course, for every hackathon, there will be a deadline. Until then, you have to submit your presentation template, which contains the idea. Now, before one thing, I have to give you an important side note. I just want to mention if you want to take part in any hackathon, please go through what this hackathon is all about and what is the expectation of the organization which is conducting this hackathon. Because some hackathons will expect innovative ideas and some will look for a proper or complete business model in which they have to make money out of it. And also some hackathons will be based on the problems they face and they need a immediate solution for that. So this is an important point mentioning. So just look into the context of the hackathon which is being conducted. Okay, all right. Then when you participate in a hackathon, what you will get? You will get a problem statement. Okay, then what is a problem statement? A problem statement is a statement through which the organization, the company which is conducting the hackathon, they will mention the real-time problems that they are facing, and then they will ask you to quote a solution through a presentation template. So they may need a effective solution or some kind of open innovation statements. Just like if they are conducting it like an open innovation, they will just do the category under which you have to develop you have to solve any kind of problem in that category. For example, if you are taking part in an open innovation challenge, there will be like you have to develop an application under the medical category, under the entertainment. So there will be a lot of categories. Now here, the problem statement is yours, the solution and idea is also yours. But if you ask me, I would rather say, don't choose a problem statement in that category, because if you choose a problem statement that has a brief description and then the challenge that they are facing, it will be more feasible for you to develop an application for them. Because the chances of getting selected in an open innovation is too low. But you can also participate in those kind of hackathons. But if you would ask me, I would rather say just compete in a hackathon which has a complete problem statement. Okay. Then the next point I would like to say is please read the statement thoroughly and carefully, because most of the time this may happen. You will present an idea and that idea will be easily rejected because you didn't understand the problem which they are quoting, and then they will easily reject you based on that. So don't misunderstand with the idea that don't misunderstand the problem statement that they are asking to solve. Okay. Actually, there are a lot of experience with Vignesh, because he had participated in a hackathon and they said like, this is not our problem. This is the whole idea is totally wrong. But the idea is quite different because it is also developing a new kind of product. But they don't need that product. Even though it's a good product, but they don't need that product. So this is what happens. Just understand what the judges are asking, and then you can based on that you can develop a solution for that. And then if you don't understand the problem, just make a research on Google about the stuff they want. And then you have to to also know more about the organization, what they are doing, so that you can develop a solution based on their constraints. Because every companies have their constraints. For example, if, during this Smart India Hackathon, before quoting the solution presentation, we have done complete research on the government of Andhra Pradesh, because our problem statement is given by the government of Andhra Pradesh, and based on the education system, we have made a complete analysis, and then only we have submitted the solution. So by doing these kind of things, there will be a lot of chances you will be selected. Then the next thing is you have to make a presentation template. Okay, a presentation template, what you might think is you have to add more points, add more ideas, more things. But if you ask me, I would say make the presentation as simple as you can, because the evaluator will have less attention span, and they will describe. I mean, they can't even able to understand what you are trying to tell them. Actually, the points you are adding in the presentation should be more concise and clear. Also, organize your ideas in points. Have some visual elements present in the presentation template, because adding more and more visual elements will make the evaluator to understand the solution you are giving to them. So have visual elements in them. And if you are developing software kind of hackathon, if you are participating in software hackathons, I would suggest you to add a use case diagram, because use case diagram will make the evaluator more concise about, and they will even understand what you're trying to tell them in a way more clear, and rather than the points you are giving in the words. Okay, then
Sorry for interrupting. The presentation
Okay.
that you're saying here is in order to make submission, right? So you've chosen a problem statement, you have researched about the problem statement, and you're making a presentation. Not to give
Ganesh bro, your voice is a bit low. Can you be a little bit louder?
Okay. So I'm just clarifying that the presentation that Amrit is currently talking about is a presentation that we are going to submit in order to pitch your solution to them, so that the judges can check that, and they will evaluate whether they can select you or not. That's a presentation that Amrit is talking about.
Yeah. Okay, then I guess Vignesh can take over the session.
Yes, thank you, Amrit. That was a very good thing from your side. Am I audible?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. So this is Vignesh from third year Computer Science and Engineering, probably a senior. So to start with, I will keep a very keen note on the problem statement. Like, the problem statement is the very most important thing for getting selected as well as winning the competition. So the very first thing you have to understand is, the more and more you understand your problem statement, that takes you closer to the cup, the winning final cup. So you should be the topmost thing to know the problem exactly. Like, you should know what exactly the problem is, and you should live on the problem. Like, you have to find all the dimensions of the problem, what and all problem. So if you try to give one solution to one particular problem at one instance, so if that solution may cause another new problem which was not in the case earlier, so that is the very most important thing. So understanding the problem statement is a very important thing, the most important thing, I would say. I request other hosts to mute their mic, because I hear some other noises. Okay, yeah. So the first very most important thing is understanding the problem statement. So understand what the host is actually needing. Like, you may have a very brilliant idea, but it should solve their problem. Like, you may use a very artificial intelligence, blockchain, whatever you use, but they don't care. Even if it is a simple application which has zero technology, just an app or a website, but it solves their problem, they are okay to give you 1 lakh or 2 lakh, or even some events they give up to 1 crore and all. I know some hackathons which provide 1 crore prize amount and all. So that is the most important thing that comes to mind in the first place. So considering the presentation template, as Amrit said, you have to concise it only to the three slides at maximum, and that's first slide will be your name, your team members, and what problem statement you're trying to solve. So whenever generally when a hackathon is hosted, what they have is they will have a website kind of thing, where they will post their n number of problem statement that the participants has to take over. Like, okay, I will just share my experience and our journey. I will just condense into a story with the indexed phase with the summary, and I will just give you that. And that is the exact key thing that you can follow to crack any hackathon in the world. Like, okay, so this is exactly what I say. So at first, what we did is, SIH generally gives about 350 to 400 problem statements. Um, Problem statement. So each problem statement is about 1 page or long. Like, you have to, first thing what you guys have to do is you have to all the team members have to start discussing about the problem statement. Like, everyone has to see what and all problem statements are first available. So you have to go through all the 400 pound. Like, you can of course categorize it. Like, if you are interested only in going with the software side of hackathons, like, you can categorize it as a software side. And if you want the embedded, like both software and hardware, you can even do that in the filter. But so, okay, just I'm talking the case of software, since we have only software people here. So in case you're going to have the software problem statement, you will be having around 250 problem statements. So first thing you have to do is, all the 6 members should go through all the 250 problem statements. So that will be the very first step, because the first thing you guys have to do together is, like, you can find what commonly interests all the 5 people, and who's feeling confident about the all same problem statement. Like, that is the very first important thing. Like, everybody should have confidence on that problem statement, that we can provide this solution and make this an efficient way. Like, you have to understand the entire process. So this is the first thing you have to do. And you can filter it down, the 250 problem statements, to 10 problem statements, or 10 or 5 problem statement. And then what you can do is, again, you can go deeper into the problem. You can just, if for example, in our case, we got a problem statement in education ministry in the Andhra Pradesh government, in the Andhra schools. So what we did is, we understood the problem statement clearly, and what the first thing what we did is, we found the existing solutions which they have currently, like what they are using right now. Like, do they have any solution, current solution, and they're not satisfied with that solution and they want even more better solution, or this problem statement is entirely new and they don't even have a single solution for that. So the first thing we try to look at that. uh, for our case, they had already a solution for that. That was even our software. So we found what is not so satisfying in that solution for the problem statement host. So that is the important thing. So we actually made a login to that their own solution, and checked. We just went through the whole application. We found all the features, and we just saw what is matching the problem statement and which is not required, which is required. Everything. That is the main process that you guys have to do together. So once you do that, you will be having a good idea that you can probably include this thing in your solution, so that you can win. So you have to find what is the difference between those two, and you have to first try to give them, and you have to see whether it's practically possible. So that is one more judging criteria. They will see practicality. Like, they will see whether this solution is really, whether they can incorporate into their own real life. So that should be the main thing. Like, you just can't say that this is AI, it will automatically take care of everything, and if it just doesn't work, like, there is no use. Like, they just want to solve their problem. So that is the main thing. So the solution which you provide should be practically possible. So in real life, you have to imagine everything in a real life scenario, and that is the most important thing. So once you do that, you finalize one problem statement, and you focus fully on that problem statement, and try to provide as much as perfect solution that I want to. The first thing is not adding of more and more features. The first thing is the first priority should be given to solve their problem, not to add more and more features. So that is the first thing. Once you have a perfect solution, like a real solution for their problem statement, then after you can add on features which they might like, and that might help you to get selected. So this will be the first thing. Once you have done the selected the first thing, what next step is, what you can do is, the step which I'm going to talk about is one major important step, following which you will definitely have 60 to 80% of chance to get, you will have an advantage over other competitors. So the thing is, you have to build a prototype. Either it doesn't need to be a working prototype. Like, you just can just express your idea in a form of a prototype of video. Like, you can, there is tools like Sigma, Adobe XD. Like, you can just design something, like design the UI and just show them, like, this is what we are trying to provide you, this is what the solution which we are trying to do. So if you complete this step, you're almost 60 to 80% more than the other competitors. So most of them will just give their idea in the PPT form, and then they'll just leave. So the main thing, it takes time, but it's definitely a worth step. Like, you have to do that, and you'll mostly be selected. So, but you have to make sure that you have provided some solution. So for one problem statement, with regards to SIH, they choose 5 teams. Like, out of all over India, they choose 5 teams. So so this is the place where you get selected. So your names come on the website itself, and your guys are selected for now. So the next thing what you have to do, once you know you have already been selected, what you can do is you can start building the thing. Like, it's not the hackathon is for 3 days. It's not that you have to build the entire product in those 3 days. It's all about, like, submitting submitting the project on the 3 days. Those 3 days are for different procedures. I will tell you, like, Ganesh bro will tell what should be done there in the later stage of this webinar. So so the next thing is to build as what you tried to do in the XD thing. So the design shouldn't be like, it isn't meant to be the same way. Like, it is not compulsory. You can do it however you feel like, but you have to make sure you have provided the proper solution for what you have proposed. So doing that, you are just getting prepared for the final event, which is going to take place for 3 days. And so they will give you some kind of hall tickets to give entry to the thing and all those things. So this is until entering the hackathon. So you have to build almost, I would say, 70 to 75% of your project should almost be completed by then. So that is a winning edge over other competitors. Like, you have to complete the 75% of the project over there, and that too, you have to prioritize the free features which you're going to give. Like, the solution first, and this the most valuable feature next, and you have to go that way, and you have to wait till the 75%. And now this is the hackathon day, the 3 days of hackathon. So I think from now, Ganesh bro will continue on what has to be done on the hackathon, and what will lead you to the greater success, and what will lead you to the cup. Yeah, bro, take
Okay,
on.
once again, I would like to add one more point with Vignesh. The important thing is have a good teammate, because each and every member in the team should contribute something to the hackathon. And also evaluate, each and every member in the team should evaluate the idea which they are presenting at the finals. So be concise with the teammates, and then each and every teammate should have the mind of learning something new, because every hackathon's motto is that only. You have to learn many things. So that's what the important thing. And then Ganesh, now you can take over.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So, okay. While we're at this, before that, I'll just take a step back. I had someone in the chat ask for to show a template on what we'll be in the presentation. So I'll just show a quick template on what I did submit, in order for one of my hackathons. So yeah, I hope you can see the screen. So this is the one, right? So this you get only 3 slides. The first slide will be the general details, your team name, your problem statement IDs, and all those things. And the next one will be the solution and the key features. So the solution is what the concise solution that you are giving to the problem statement. You have to highlight the key features and give the exact solution that you are planning to pitch there. And the key features are the ones that are going to add an icing on the problem statement. So those are the key features, are the ones that are going to differentiate your solution from others, like how efficient are you going to do those things. You will say that, and the technology stack that you're going to use. The technology stack is what are the technologies you're going to use to build your application. So that's will be the second slide, and the third slide is what Amrit had highlighted in the first, a visual representation. You would need some use case diagrams on how various parties will interact with your application and what are the features that you plan to take. So this will be the 3 slides. It's a very concise representation of your idea, and this will help the evaluators understand your problem, and this is the one key feature that is required in order to get selected in the first place, right? So yeah, I hope this clarifies the structure for you, the presentation structure. Okay, moving on. So Vignesh had given a fantastic explanation on what to do in order to get selected, right? So that's a very, very important part of the hackathon to get selected in the first place. So once you get selected, it's you get a there are two things that are happening right now. One, there are live hackathons, and the two, there are virtual hackathons. So this past year, everything has been virtual due to the COVID situation. So based on that, the timings change. Hackathons usually are minimum of 24 hours and could be up to 48 hours. So that's 24 hours, 36 hours, or 48 hours. The most famous Smart India hackathon is 36 hours, right? So how this 36 hours is structured is that in case if you're going for a live event, it will be a complete 36 hours. It will start at 9 a.m. or today morning and will end at 9 p.m. tomorrow evening, right? That's how 36 hours will be structured in case of live events. So that means you have to keep coding from start to end completely. In case of a virtual event, it was different last time because it was split into 12 hours. So 3 days of 12 hours each is how you will be coding your application. So it depends upon how the situation is, and you can expect a mixture of both this year because it's a post-COVID situation, and you can expect a mix of these two. So that's about the timing of the hackathon that you can expect. And the next thing is that the next thing you have to do in order to before going to the hackathon venue is that you have to split the responsibilities. So you will be having a team of 4 or 6 members, and you have to split your responsibilities between each other. And this is something that has to be done, when the team has been created itself. But now that you know the problem statement, also you're gonna, split the responsibility in detail on who will be doing what part of the application. So ideally, you would need a front-end developer, a back-end developer, and a presenter. These are the 3 major roles that are needed. So the ratio is that you would need 2 back-end developers for every front-end developer. So one front-end developer, you need 2 back-end developers. So back-end is a huge amount of work because it involves managing the server, the database, and front-end is also equally important. But you can also have, the front-end is more important because that's what the users are going to see, and you need some good person who can do, a very beautiful front-end, because that's what as a judge I'm going to face, the front-end. And then there's third important person, the presenter. So the presenter is the one who's going to pitch your presentation, who's going to show your application and going to pitch about that. I'll cover more about that in a few minutes, right? So you have spread the responsibilities, and the next thing you're going to do is designing. So that's what Vignesh also stressed upon. You can use tools like Adobe XD and all those things. Even before getting into the hackathon venue, you can start designing your application, building your application, and have about 50% of the work done. And that work includes setting up an environment. So you're going to use a technology stack, right? Say you're using a Node.js with React.js and stuff. You need some base architecture for that. So you may or may not build your entire application before the hackathon, but that's a certain architecture that is required in order to build, and that base you can set up before the hackathon. That's totally doable, and that should be done before, because you can save a lot of time in the hackathon, in the duration of the hackathon. So you have to set up your environments, and then you also have to set up how we are going to work together. So we are talking about working with a group of 4 or 6 people with multiple developers, right? So one key thing that you have to know is how to work together. So that includes tools like Git and LiveShare. I hope many of you may or may not have heard of Git. Git. Git is how we say that. And Git is Git and GitHub, GitLab. There are a lot of versions of that. So Git is how you share your work with other developers, right? So you can, most of the hackathons will ask you to upload your project to a GitHub repository and submit that link. So that's like sharing, like in case if you take an analogy, you upload your file to the drive and share a drive link, right? So similarly, you upload your code to a GitHub and share the link for that to the judges. So Git is also useful so that if me and Vignesh are developing, I'll be developing a part of it. Vignesh is developing the backend. I'm developing the front end. We'll all work on a common repository that's in the cloud, and we will merge all our code together. So that's something you have to learn in order to work together among your peers. And the second thing you have to know is live share. So you will most probably using some integrated development environments, IDE, right? So say VS Code. VS Code is what most people use, or Atom, Sublime Text. VS Code is super helpful. So if you're using some things like that, you would need to know live share. So soon other developers will come to your code editor and work on your code in another machine. So live share is something that you do in order to collaborate your coding environment. So those are the things that you have to set up before going there. Once you're there, you'll be continuing this process. Right? So if you take a live event, you have 36 hours, your clock is ticking, and you all will be developing that application that you have planned together. You'll be having Git mergers, you'll be pulling stuff, you'll be live sharing, you'll be developing, and in amongst all of these things, there are judges. So the judges are the ones who are going to evaluate you, and there are two things the judges can do. One is mentoring, and two is judging. So mentoring is when the judges will come, look at your product, see what you have done, and say suggestions. Okay, you have done this. You can also do that. You can also add this or that. That they will mentor you. They'll say what to be done and what not to be done, what you have done good or what you have done bad. But there will be no evaluation in mentoring. They will not judge you on what you have done. They will not give you marks for that. That will not be done during mentoring, right? The second thing is judging. Judging is when they will see your product, but they will not give any remarks to you. They will silently note the marks for whatever you have done, and they will leave. Right. So mentoring and judging. In case of virtual hackathons, these are two different entities. Last year, in virtual hackathons, this was done separately. I told you the virtual hackathon is going to happen like for 3 days, 3 separate days, and every morning we'll have a mentoring session where they'll give you suggestions, and every evening they'll have a judging event where they'll give you marks. But in case of a live hackathon, it may or may not be separate, right? In case of SIH, during the live event, these were both done together. So in SIH for a live event, every 8 hours the judges would come. They will give you a product, they will give you suggestion, and also evaluate you at the same time. So it depends upon various hackathons and how their rules and regulations are and how they are termed. So make sure you check out the rules of the hackathon before and understand is mentoring and judging done separately or together, or they require you to have a separate mentor on your own. So that's about the mentoring and judging rounds and what you have to do during the judging rounds, right? So that's when the presenter comes in. All this time when the judges are not around you, the front-end and back-end developers will be working very hard, to get the product that they have thought of into shape. And when the judges are here, the presenter has to pitch the product. So the presenter is someone who has a good oratory skills, who can, sell your product. So you are making a product. You're making the product for whom? You're making it for a human, right? There's a company that's giving this product treatment. That's a person behind this. There's a government behind this that wants this product. And what they want to hear from you is that how does that product of you is solving their problem and how they can sell that. In the end of the day, it's all about is it profitable for them. So what the presenter has to do is that they have to explain how your product is helpful for them and what are the selling points for that. How it's going to change their market, how it's going to affect their market, how it's going to increase their efficiency. All those key factors, that has to be told. And also while the presenter is teaching all of these stuff, the developers will be showing a live demo of the project in their computer and also highlighting all the technical features that are there, right? So this is the most important part in presentation. And in order to give you a very live example of that, I will request Ms. Divya to share her experience of. She was a presenter for the last year's Smart India Hackathon, and I request her to talk about the same.
Yeah, so I was a part of SIH 2020, and our second round took place towards the end of July. So it was a virtual hackathon, and took place for it was a 3-day hackathon, and we were supposed to keep updating the judges on a daily basis about our progress. Like we had a mentoring session and then the judging session as well, like on a daily basis. So here the main goal is to get through a clear idea of what you want to do or what you have done. So usually when we're supposed to interact with the judges, there was limited time. So it was important to give the panel a good insight into the solution. So I have seen other teams spending way longer time in explaining, which in turn turned out to be very vague information, and there's no point really in sharing pages length of data, and it doesn't help as well. So I believe it needs to be like precise, and to do that, like one should always highlight on why your solution would be more feasible, and like you should also focus on the different aspects you've tried to inculcate and how it benefits the whole thing, and or why it makes your solution stand out. So, and amongst all these, I feel like the most important aspect of it all would be to be confident in whatever you're saying. So it shouldn't sound like you've just memorized a paragraph, because it'll be very obvious. And you should also make sure to understand how your solution works. So like the flow of it. So once you are confident on how it works, you will be able to convince the other person as to how it works. So sometimes noting down the key points would also help while delivering. And another important part of all this is PPTs. So, and one common mistake people always do is just bluntly reading it out, and which is not good at all. And I feel like PPTs can be like used effectively by, say, for example, if you're displaying a PPT, and then you should make sure there are less words. Feel like, and then which that also should hold more importance. Like whatever words are there on your PPT, I feel like they should hold, like they should be of significant importance to your solution, and you can always elaborate on those particular points if they're important and if it's needed. So don't go on about saying vague information which they already know and they do not want to hear. So these are a few things I followed during my experience, and it thankfully I feel like it worked out for me. So I'm sure it would work out for everyone. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. Yeah. So that's what people expect, right? So at the end of the day, in the hackathon, you're going to be doing a lot of work, a couple of sleepless nights, and what it all boils down is to how you're going to present that. How we're going to speak, how we're going to pitch that, to the judges. So the judges, you can also expect the human or the judges. The judges are also humans, and what you have to expect from them is that there are different varieties of judges. So what usually happens is that if you have like 3 rounds of judging events, the first set of judging event will be very lenient, or it shouldn't be much, because they know that you're just starting off with your application. You would be about 25 to 50% on the application, so they would not be expecting more from you. But that is when they will give a lot of feedback on what more you have to do and what less you're doing. And that's when you have to be very keen to get their feedback and go in that direction. For example, when I was working in the SH 2020, what happens is that the judges, they asked for a specific feature that was not mentioned in the problem statement in the first place. But the people who came for the judging one were the one who pitched the problem statement, but they forgot to maybe include that also. But they did demand that they would need something like that in their application. So that is when you have to get that feedback and make sure before the second judging round comes through, you make such feature ready, because that was asked in the first round. And in the first round, they will also tell you about what's going wrong with you, and maybe even what other teams are doing that are better than you. So those are things that they don't say very explicitly, but you can take those signals from them, right? You have to get those signals from them on when their face, just when their face goes bad or when their face goes good. That psychology behind the judges listening to you is what would help you to understand whether the direction you're going is right or wrong, and how you have to tune yourself in order to get a better through. So that's the most important part of the entire hackathon presentation. Even in the first place, when you're submitting a problem statement, the presentation is what important. How you're going to pitch the stuff, and when you're even in event, even when you're going to tell the judges, the presentation is what plays a key role in whether you get to win or not, right? So, for that, okay, that's for the first one. The second judging round will always be a very good, because the second judging round, the judges would expect you to get up about at least 90% of your product to be done, and the judges will be very, very serious about that. They would point out a lot of wrong things and the right things in second judging round, so that they also get to have a buffer on other teams. Actually, we have to improve on certain aspects that the judges would tell you, and not break down, because by the time the second judging round comes, you have already been awake for a whole night and will be already very tired. But that's when we have to keep up the spirits and keep moving on. And the third judging round is when is the final show off, where you have to put all in, have a presenter pitch every individual feature in that detail, and also show a live demo that the judges would also test your live product in space, so that they could see that if there are the aspects that are one, or if there are any other software problems that are there, they would also check that at that time. So those are the most important times in your interaction.
Just a second, I would like to add two more points. So on the final days, like the last 3 days of the hackathon, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, others can mute their mics.
Some noise is
So
coming.
yeah, others can mute their mic. Yeah, the other three most important things while on the final 3 days or final days of your hackathon, like the live event. So decision making and time management is the very most important thing that you will have to face on the day of the event. Like on the as said by Ganesh bro, like there will be mentors and judges as well. So mentors will just ask you something and they'll just pour in their suggestions and they'll just tell something else which you don't need in the application. Like you have to figure out what is needed and what is not needed in a short span of time. Like you should not take everything what they said, like mentors and something they will just see the capability, how student understand, how much they are capable of making decision and what they are capable of. So what they do is they go to different teams, like all the five teams would have been selected through the first round with the gate difficulty and eight hard work. So all the five teams are working good and they have all the skills to win the cup. So what they do is they set different tags for each team, like and they will see your solution first and they will ask, like this is missing, this is that is missing, like it would have been better if this was added, like they would say something like that. But what you have to do is after that mentoring session you guys have to quickly turn around and just decide which is that feature is exactly needed, or you can manage with the current solution, and are you guys confident about the same solution and you can take it to the final place. So that is one of the main thing. And at that point of time, you should not fight with your teammates. Like one should say it's okay, one should say it is not required. Like you shouldn't be fighting and you shouldn't just I'm not coming, just quit the game. Like it's not like that. Like you have to come to a conclusion, like decide what is the best, which is the best, which is the best for the whole team. Like it's a team game. It's not a single person game or anything like that. It should be done by everyone. Like as Ganesh bro said, it's 1:2 ratio, something like that. So if a feature has to be developed, it should be coordinated by all the members of the team. That is very most important thing. So you have to be quick. You have to be spontaneous. Decision making is one of the most important things. And if you are suppose you are not considering the suggestions of the mentors, you have to make your point very strong that why their point is not required, why their feature is not required, and why are you not taking those into your consideration, and why your idea is better than what they have provided. And this is also one important thing. On the final day of the final pitch, you will be given only 2 or 3 minutes of maximum time. Well, it is like you would have done so many things in the last 15-20 days. Like you would be developing many features and adding many things, but you will be given only 3 minutes, and introduction is necessary. Like you can't skip it. But you within that 3 minutes, what you're going to show, how you are going to show, how you are going to sell yourself, you sell your team, like sell your product. It's like a platform seller, like convincing you to sell his product. It's exactly same like that. You have to convince the judges to prove that your solution is better than all the other teammates. So that is also one of the best thing. Like you have to point out that this solution will be the best suited. This not only solves your problem, but this is the best suited solution for your problem statement, and this will definitely make your business grow in a further level, or this will definitely eradicate whatever problem you're trying to face in a cost effective way. So this is the one of the important thing that is the points which I've covered for the last 2 minutes are the very final stage of the hackathon. So if you do this properly, and yes, bang, you won the cup. That's it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vinay. Those are some very important points, right? So if there is one thing that we have to understand from this webinar is that hackathon is more about the human psychology than the actual, development and coding itself, right? Coding and development is the core of that, but whatever is the icing is the human psychology. It's about how we are going to interact with the judges. It's about how you're going to interact with your teammates and how we are going to do all of this under the pressure of time, right? So that's what hackathon is about. And I hope this webinar was helpful, to understand something more than what you had come in before. So yeah, in order to conclude with this, I would also like to add that the second week of March, we will be conducting an internal hackathon within our college for all the students. So that the Department of Computer Science will be holding a hackathon for all the college students. So that is something that you all can participate, and that is something where we will be implementing whatever we have done. We will be given problem statements. There will be a fixed time frame. There will be mentoring, judging, and all these things. And you can check out all these live in action in house, right? So more on this, you will get an official circular through your WhatsApp groups on the terms and conditions. What are the problem statements? What's the team size, and all those rules. You will get to know about that shortly. But you can expect something in the second week of March that will be happening in our college, right? So that's about the hackathon itself, and I hope you all did understand. And I think it's time that we open up for some question and answers, so that if you have any other questions regarding to whatever we have talked still, you can put it in the chat, and we will make sure we could cover as much as possible. We are in the final 10 minutes now, and we could use the time. Right.
Yeah, you people could ask some question that you want to ask regarding hackathons or technically anything. Like you try to cover what we could answer. So meanwhile, I try to cover one simple point which happened to ourselves in the hackathon. Like what happened is we got a very competitive team. There was another team, but I forgot the name. I think Amrit would have remembered that team. Like they were very competitive, but what gave the winning edge over that team was like the team coordination. Like we will be having one presenter in our team, but it's not that the presenter should alone will be talking for the entire session and everyone should be kept quiet. So the judges will be asking you question. They will see how much they will ask if this solution is brought into the reality, what are the other problems will be brought into the game. Like you should know that, and you should able to convince the judge that that is not a problem, and this is how your solution provides it. And you should be aware of everything. Like everyone should know the problem statement thoroughly and what solution you are provided. Everyone should know everything. Like in our team, almost every one of us presented repeatedly, and even that was a major thing which judge by itself they itself personally told us that we had a winning edge by having a very great team coordination. So that was even a very great factor for us to taking the cup.
Yes, right. So yeah, we have some questions. But why second week of March? Do you think that's early or late? Because second week of March is the best we can do. Start organizing a hackathon now, come up with the problem statements, the rules, and also organizing all the technicalities that is needed for that and set up. So that seems to be the ideal time. And while we're at it, I almost forgot to talk about the fun parts of having a hackathon because we're talking about some lot of serious stuff here. So the fun part of being in a hackathon is that you get to meet a lot of people. So when you go to, especially in a live hackathon, when you go there, you get free transport, you get free accommodation, you get free food, and you also get to meet a lot of new people from around the country, right? So that's a lot of cool experience to have. They even take you on tours. If you say, for example, if you're going to Gujarat for the hackathon, the organizing party will also take you for a short tour to a nearby place too. They also provide the food. You can get to eat Gujarat food there, and you also have a lot of other people from other colleges there who you can get some good contacts, and you know what to do. Yeah. And it's overall a very fun experience to be in a live hackathon. Virtual hackathons are okay. They don't give you that lot of fun elements go amiss in virtual hackathons, but live hackathons are very fun to do. And the first thing, and another thing that I forgot to mention here is that you're going to lose, right? The first hackathon that you go, you will, or you may or may not win, but it's most probable that you would lose. The very first hackathon that I went was after 2 months of joining the college in my first year. I went to the Rajasthan hackathon and we lost terribly. We made a very basic website in HTML or something, and we didn't even have the courage to show that to the judges, right? It was so bad. But why that is important is that you need to have that exposure in the first place in order to win your second hackathon. We won the second hackathon that we did. We did good. So you have to take that first step, right? You may or may not win. That does not matter at all. The experience is what matters. The destination does not matter. The journey is what that matters. So you have to take your first step. You may or may not fail, but don't worry about that. But keep pushing your limits until you're going to be there at that winner place someday or the other, for sure. Yeah. Okay. So enough of talking. Let's get back to the Q&A. Right? Is there any questions in the chat? Asia Hackathon contribution.
Guys, you are open to ask any questions. Like, I don't see any questions in the chat session. Yeah.
Okay, guys, questions have to be sent to everybody. I see a couple of questions here, but I think those have come private to me. But just make sure you change the option to send to everybody so that all of us could see the questions, right?
Yeah,
So
feel free to ask any questions. Like we all six were together will answer the questions which you asked.
So one of you have asked how to participate in the Asia Hackathon. Asia Hackathon, I hope they would have a website with the rules and regulations on how to join that. I personally am not aware of the joining procedures there, but it should be something similar to this, which you can check out in their webpage. They would have a detailed page on the application and the procedures to go through. And the next question is that to Vignesh. Vignesh, someone asks you, you did tell that you don't have to necessarily take in everything the mentor says. Okay,
What? Come again?
He just clarifies. He says we should hear from mentors, but it's not necessary to add every features. Am I right? He's asking.
Yeah, like it's like you have to consider what he says, but you're the one you who should have understood the problem very keenly. Like you have to see whether that is exactly required or not. Like if that makes more value to your project, you should definitely add them to yours. If you are not doing so, like you have to convince him why you're not doing so. That's it, simple. It's not that you have to take everything from him, or it's not like you shouldn't consider him at all. It's like you have to decide what you have to do. That's the thing. Like your team should decide everything coordinately. That's it.
That's especially where Vignesh stress that is before the final presentation. Between the second judging round and third judging round, you will have about 6 hours in between, but you have already worked about 18 hours before that, and you will all be very stressed out. So if for example, in our case, they asked us to do some data normalization. They asked us to do some normalization in databases, which we did not do, right? Because that's going to take a lot of time to do, and that time is not necessary. That time does not necessarily convert to the final output. That does not going to reflect in the front end or something. So we use that time in order to get a better front end, so that judges can be more impressed with that. So it's about deciding which feature that you want to take and which not to, based on the time constraint that you have and the physical constraints that you have on yourself. You don't have to take too much stress on yourself in the end of the day.
Another thing is, now I will tell something about the judges. Mentors are different. The judges are just one. The judges would ask for one particular feature which they particularly require to all the 5 teams in one short period of time. They would just come a day before a final event, like tomorrow 12 o'clock will be your final pitch, and they will come around 8 o'clock in the before day night, and they will ask us, we need this feature. And all the 4 teams will drop. It's about which team cracks that feature in that short period of time. It's about all about time management. It's even that thing. So only if you have a very good team, I mean, not about very good team coordination, I would say. Like you have to manage who's going to do what, and you have to perfectly plan those things and hit the target. Like obviously, a day before the hackathon final night will be a sleepless night. Like you have to code, and just crack it. Yeah, that's how it works.
Right. Yeah. So Rohit wants to hear about some upcoming hackathons. Rohit, you can look out for your official groups. So we will be sending in information about the upcoming hackathons, what you could participate and whatnot. There and there are also some websites such as TechGig, where you can participate in some competitions. You can participate in virtual hackathons. So that's where you can look up to for hackathons. You'll also be informed of that in your official groups. If you want to get into more details, you can also contact Sendil sir. I hope most of you would know Sendil sir. He would be the host in most of the webinars. So you can contact him, and he will help you, find some more hackathons. And he is the one who will always update you about hackathons and competitions. So yeah, and all of this, we talked about a lot of things, right? You need to first in you need to first learn to code, prepare on some tech stack. You need to learn to do front end development. You need to learn to do back end development, and you also need to learn to talk, pitch, communicate. All those things that has to be done. And so I think we in this webinar session we did cover what what has to be done, and maybe we will have a webinar session sometime on how these should be done. We can also expect something on that sooner or later. Yeah. Okay, so we have Atif asking, may I know the average participant limit? The participant limits is different for different hackathons. So some have only 2 members, still 6 members, or even 8 members. It depends upon the hackathon that you're participating. So it is not a fixed rule, but if you take Smart India Hackathon, like hackathons conducted by the government of India, that's usually 6 members all the time. And that's also necessary that there should be a girl participant in your team in case of government hackathons. There should be at least one girl participant in your team.
Okay, I would like to add one more point. Please try to have a contact with other teammates which you are working in the same hackathon, because you may lose the hackathon, but you have to look into the solution that your opponent team made. So it will give you more idea about what you are trying to build and what their solution is. So you will get more idea on the problem statement in a broader way. So it will give you such more experience for
That's
connecting
right.
an hackathon.
That's very true. If in case if you lost the hackathon, contact the winning team and check out their product. See what they had done better than you, and what would be the winning factors. That's something that you can learn, so that you can do something better in the next hackathon. Right? Okay. Okay. Varsha asks, what languages did you use? It totally depends upon the problem and what you are personally convenient with. Personally, I'm a JavaScript developer, so I do everything in Node.js for the backend and React.js for the front end. It's entirely JavaScript. You can also use Python, or even Java backend. It's either usually Python or JavaScript. In case you're looking for web development, and in case of mobile development, it's Java, and the Android Studio you would be using for developing. I'm very interested to participate in Asia Hackathon, but I'm a beginner. Will it be easy? Tell me some details about it. Rohit, I'm not very sure about the Asia Hackathon rules exactly. Have not participated in that one specifically. Anyone else of you have done Asia Hackathon? Or maybe Shamrit? Okay, so we are not very specific. We don't have a specific details about the Asia Hackathon. I think there are different types of Asia Hackathons. There's one is called Hack Asia, and that's also one called Grow Asia. There are different names of Asia Hackathons, but the general format is this. And
Deepan, do every team work on the same problem? No. Like that's what I said on the very first point. Like most of the hosts, they give about some set of problem statements, and some gave around 10 problem statements, some gave 5, and something a competition like SIH would give around 400 450 problem statements. Like you have to choose the problem statement and start working on it. Of course, you will not be the only one who's presenting to that problem statement. Minimum of 15 team at least would be working on that problem statement, and up to a maximum of 250 to 300 teams should be working on the same problem statements. In the first round, I say the first round. So after the first round, they will be having only 5 teams working on one problem statement, and it's so yeah. If there's 5 problem statements, each problem statement has 5 teams to work on. So 25 teams should be there on the on spot in the live event. So that's how it happens.
And Atif has asked if there are different winners for different categories or if there is only one winner in a hackathon. That again depends upon the hackathon rules. Even Smart India Hackathon only had one winner across categories when it started in 2017. But later on, it became that every category has a separate, every problem statement has a separate winner. So it entirely depends upon the problem statement. I mean, the hackathon rules and guidelines. So you should probably check on that.
Rohit, recently I saw one student won Asia Hackathon recently from our college. Yeah. So that Asia Hackathon is something where it is like one step further to SIH Hackathon. Like only the winners of SIH Smart India Hackathon are eligible for that hackathon to apply. So myself, Amrit, Ganesh, bro, Divya, suppose we four are eligible to apply for that hackathon. So we would be applying for that hackathon, and it will be like you would be having some interview sessions like among there would be around 500 winners. I mean, every problem statement has a winner, so around 400 problem statement means there will be 400 winners all around the India. So all those 400 teams will be eligible for the event, and they would apply, and only 10 out of those will be selected to represent India. So that is how it happens. So only 10 among those will be represent India or Asia, I guess. So they will be filtered to that much level, and then only you would be able to go to that Asian hackathon. Like we didn't apply for that hackathon because simply because we don't want it, because we just finished the essays and we don't want it. That's it. So once you have completed your essays, you can try for Asian hackathon.
Yeah. So who you would be referring
So
to?
I'd like to just add one
Yeah,
line.
please, Divya.
Yeah, and the Asian hackathon, again, there are again 2 rounds of that as well. The first one would be like an MCQ thing where for an hour, and then once you qualify.
Hope you're audible.
Vidya, see, Divya,
Yeah, not
your voice is not
audible.
audible.
Oh, now?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, now it's okay.
Oh, okay. So I was not audible at all.
You were audible for part of it.
Okay.
The MCQ.
Okay. So the first round is the MCQ round, and once you qualified into that, you will be you will be able to form a team with members across the college. So whoever participates, I think that's how you can go forward into the competition. Yeah, that's how. So the basic thing, as Vignesh said, you should be a winner in SIH to apply only. So yeah, I'm hoping we answered that question.
So, yeah, so
Karthik Hussain, Ganesh Ram, to be honest, I didn't even listen my practical today. But your webinar, I learned a lot. Thank you, guys.
So yeah, it's happy to know that you guys did get to learn something away from this webinar, and there is much to come, right? This is what you have heard from us, right, about what is a hackathon, what are these things. Once we have an internal hackathon in the college, in the second week of March, you will get to know more about the procedures, and you will also get to know how to prepare for a thing like this.
Yeah, mostly like ourselves, like our team, and there is another team. Like we all will host those hackathon. Like we will provide you the actual experience as what we had in all the other national, international hackathons, so that you can be very much well prepared. For us, in our stage, we went to different hackathons and failed to learn about the hackathon for the winning hackathon. For you, we will set up a very mock kind of experience, and you will experience everything, and you can straight away go and win your first time in the serious game. That's it.
Yeah, that's totally possible. So yeah, okay, that's one more question here. Maybe you can answer that. The problem statements are given at the time, or you came to know before. Problem
Yeah,
statements, yeah, you come
yeah,
to
I
know
will
of
answer.
that before. That's the very first stage. You know the problem statements. Whenever a hackathon is posted, they will put the problem statements right away. You will have at least about 2 months before the actual hackathon starts. You have to get a solution, submit the solution. Once only if your solution is accepted, you will go to the venue to attend the finale of the hackathon. That's how it's usually structured.
So,
Fine.
any other question? Last few minutes, and then we will
Yeah,
be closing the
we're
session.
already overshooting like about 5 minutes, and maybe some of you are angry because it's a weekend. We just don't want anyone to get hanging with questions. So if you have any more questions, you can ask. I'll give you a quick minute, else we could close this session.
Uh, Ganesh Ram, bro, I think you can conduct a poll for something.
Yeah, I did conduct a poll on how valuable this was. Should I conduct it? Mm, I think we are fine. I think we will hand it over to the. Yeah, we have another question. Uh, okay, Atik Hussain, the internal hackathon is still under planning. So the rough idea is it will be conducted for 2 days, and you will have to submit it at the end of the day, end of the 2 days. So we will get you to know more about that shortly. Once we have the entire structure planned up on the team sizes, everything is still in the planning stages. So I can't give you a definitive answer yet. You will hear from us very shortly. Okay then. So I think that should conclude the webinar here, and I'll hand it over to the host to to conclude the session.
Yeah, I call Shreya for the conclusion of the event.
Yes, thank you, Vijay. I'm really happy to give the vote of thanks. First of all, first and foremost, I thank our chairman, sir, for providing us with a platform for gaining more knowledge about hackathon. Next, I would like to thank our lecturers and staff, and especially Senthil Kumar sir, for giving this wonderful opportunity. And I would like to thank our seniors who provided their views and their expressions and share their more valuable things with us. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the students in the audience who participated in the session. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
Yeah, right. We had